Morning, everyone. This is Fist to Your Doom, here to do a quick draft breakdown for the 6th season of the Castelia Battle Network. First time playing here. Shout out to Shadow Stitch for getting the league organized. Looking to have a little bit of fun with my first dabble in VGC in a while, outside of playing a couple sets in a team tour that I didn't want to be playing VGC in. Anyways, as you can see on the screen, got the team up. We were pick 7, first pick overall. This was a tiers draft. We were only allotted one S tier, couldn't pick up another with extra points or anything. And we got Urshifu Single Strike. Now, if I had the choice between the two, I definitely would have taken Rapid over Single Strike. Shout out to last time I used Urshifu Rapid in a VGC league, and it was 7 weeks and it had 30 kills. That was Natdex too. That thing is fucking nuts. But with Terra, Shifu Single should be able to put in just as much, if not more work. I'm pretty sure everybody watching knows the drill. Ooga Booga, contact moves go through Protect, strong as fuck, decent speed tier, and redirection all over the team to help support him. Got decent tailwind as well. Should be a good time keeping this guy procced up. And speaking of keeping him procced up, A tier, first off we had Among Us. Now this is a mon that a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of in draft. You've definitely got a lot of options for counterplay around it, but at the end of the day, he has been a staple ever since his inception in VGC for a reason. He's got the Rage Powder, he's got the Spore, he's got the Pollen Puff, and he's got the skills to pay the bills. Just look at him. Look at him puckered up. He's just whistling at you like, man, you just hit me 14 times and I'm still not dead? You fucking suck. Your mom's disappointed in you. Or at least that's what I think that smug motherfucker is saying to us when he just doesn't die. Just slightly traumatized by this thing in VGC. That's why I'd rather draft it than have to play against it. Anyways, speaking of traumatized, pick 3, Diancie. This thing, it's a very strange VGC mon. It's got really good bulk, and it has a decent defensive typing in Rock Fairy. Got a little bit of great in Fairy and a little bit of in Rock, but it leads it to a lot of interesting combos. Might end up seeing like a bulldoze into it to get a weakness policy off as it sets Trick Room. A really fun aspect of its kit is Diamond Storm. Every hit of Diamond Storm has a 50% chance to get a +2 defense boost. And of course, with the Terra options on here, we might be able to get some juicy body press sweeps. Everybody that knows me knows I love a good body press sweep. And even in VGC, like, it can just go ham. It's the only real dedicated Trick Room mon I'm going to be using. Got another one in the back, but I'm using that for other shenanigans mostly. And it should be a good time. It's got a lot of versatility in its kit, which is always what I'm looking for when I'm playing VGC. I like just being able to pull out all the tricks, all the tools, because that's what really makes VGC draft fun. You can get some super convoluted shenanigans going, even more so than in singles, and just absolutely catch somebody off guard and win a game in one turn. Speaking of very versatile mons, next up we surprisingly got Arcanine. Honestly, with how much roll compression this thing offers, I didn't expect it to be sitting there round 4, and that's why I ended up taking it. It was sort of an on the whim. I was gonna get Volcanion, which for some reason didn't get picked up at all, which is crazy to me. But I decided to go the support route with my fire type. This thing, it's got as much as you can ask for, honestly. It's got Howl, Terra E-Speed shenanigans, it's got Snarl, it's got Intimidate, hits like a truck, takes every hit. It can just do a really good job of whittling down the attacking stats of everything in front of it between Wisp, Snarl, Intim. It's an obnoxious twat, to put it simply. but it can also be a very offensive mon if we decide to play it a little bit more in that role. So hopefully we're not just boring, bulky shenanigans the whole season and we get to pull out some of the fun stuff. Alright, next up we have Noivern. It was getting to the point where I was worried about Tailwind, and it was between Noivern and Kilo, and Kilowattrel left. Got picked. Very glad it got picked since I got Vikavolt instead of it. And, you know, we take those. Noivern is one of those mons where in singles it's always just kind of meh at everything. I think it'll be a pretty good Tailwind setter for the price in this. Hits decently hard, it's got all the coverage it needs. Just, of course, relies on mostly inaccurate moves, which, at least in VGC, we've got a little bit more wiggle room. If we miss one, maybe we'll come back in the next set and hit it. But overall, just taunt, smack around, click Tailwind, die and let something more important in afterwards. That's the name of the game for Noivern. And the mon that, along with Urshifu, we really want to be getting back in after that Tailwind support is going to be Spectrier. It is a very strange mon in VGC. Last gen, I was a really, really big fan of it as a max option, since you could always just, you know, get big and click max strike, ooga booga. Or you had bulldoze shenanigans with like Metagross or Registeel and pop policies while they're maxed and go ham. So hoping to get a little bit of that going with Diancie. Click Bulldoze, set Trick Room same turn, and try to just go crazy. That should be fun. It's definitely a strong option to have on paper. But at the end of the day, Spectre is just fucking strong. 145 special attack with 130 speed. It's just really hard to match that. Of course, move pool kind of fucking sucks. Yeah, but it's got Terra. Ghost plus another type is gonna kill everything in sight, you know. Pretend it's a Marshadow but with special attacks, that sort of thing. And it's got a little bit of support option, like Snarl can always come in handy. Do a little bit of chip coming off this high of a special attack. It's got Wisp too, but Arcanine should be able to keep that roll locked down on its own. It's a very fun mon though. Should be able to get some good cleanups with it. And now, next up, Baby Goth. This thing was probably the biggest steal on the draft board. This thing, it is so good. Like, yeah, Gothitel's better than it. I get it. But this thing is just so bulky. And it has so much support. It's got just a lot of little shenanigans in the toolkit that maybe I won't elaborate on too much, since apparently everybody underestimates it. But of course, fat fake out, you can't switch out, my Urshifu is going to kill you. That sort of vibe. And it will just put in the utmost of work this season, I am sure of it. Every single time I've used it, it's put in nothing but the finest. And now another value pick. Didn't really need to get it, but at the same time, I just wanted to. We got Box, the Furret. Absolute Giga Chad. Follow me user of all time, if you will. And yeah, that's about what it does. It click follow me, and it die instead of my friend next to me. And he smiles while he's doing it. And maybe, just maybe, if we're lucky, that little smile, it'll keep people from swinging at us, because they'll feel bad. Because who wants to kill Furret? You shouldn't want to kill Furret. Furret is friend, not food. But he's gonna get the shit kicked out of him when he does come to games. And that's okay, because that's what he's here for. And he'll die with a smile. Next up, we have dedicated Trick Room abuser, Vikavolt. This thing, whoever decided to make all those dex entries about it being super duper fast and it goes so quick, oh my god, blisteringly, oh my god, 43 speed. Fuck you. Fuck you. But that at least makes it good at its job on this team. Click, strong, move. Sit next to Diancie. Maybe even sit next to Mr. Amogus. And just don't die. I wanted a better Trick Room Abuser. And so here he is. Should be able to pull some good shenanigans with him. Just sit next to Diancie, kill everything in sight. It's damn near impossible to wall this thing, especially if I'm going to dedicate Terra to it. You're not going to wall it. So it should be good. Last up, filler pick, F tier. We got Baby Stack. The Knackle is a great mon. So I picked it up, and then I went, oh yeah, oops, I had a Diancie. But, you know, maybe I look at a team and I'm just like, oh, Salt Cure wins. And I sit Goth next to Knackle, and I get sad that I can't have two Eviolites, but they just laugh while things die. You never know. But that is the team. Got a lot of support on here with a couple good breakers, which is the way I like to play VGC. Prop up the Shifu, the Spec, and the Vikavolt, and then start cooking up some gas with the other mons to catch people off guard. Focus all the attention on the big threats, then all of a sudden, oh no, I'm being swept by an Among Us. I don't know what's happening. God, I hope someone doesn't have a team so bad that I sweep them with Among Us, but fuck, it would be funny if I do. If you guys are looking forward to some VGC shenanigans, be sure to stick around the channel, drop a sub, drop a like. Thanks for watching to the end if you did. If you're hearing this message, obviously you did. Don't mind me being a bit stupid. Either way, peace out.